Top stories making headlines this evening. Noah Salakai has resigned from cabinet and confirms that he is facing corruption charges. Government launches a crackdown on illegal immigrants, and Hakainde Hichilema is re-elected as Zambia's president. Good evening and welcome to our 7 p.m. Live. It's a great pleasure to be with you once again. My name is Kinani Mutisantima and thanks for joining us tonight. Transport and Infrastructure Minister Noah Salakai has resigned from cabinet after confirming that he is facing corruption charges. In a personal statement to Parliament this afternoon, Salakai revealed that the DCEC served him with court documents last Thursday, summoning him to appear before court. According to sources, Salakai is linked to a road tender awarded to Tau Grading. It is alleged that the minister received a farm and a company vehicle from the company. Salakai took a swipe at law enforcement agencies that raided his house recently.
For the past few months, I've lived under the suffocating weight of state-sponsored corruption allegations, driven by none other than the notorious DCEC senior officer, who reports directly to the Minister of State, President, Defense and Security. When a government body decides to target an individual, the process is swift and isolating. The most painful part is when the allegations are arrived at through calculated leaks, sudden bureaucratic investigations, and a presumption of guilt. The hardest part is realizing that evidence matters less than the narrative the state wants to create. Living under this kind of pain, Mr. Speaker, has taken a massive toll on me. My constant wonder is what next? Friends and associates have distanced themselves, afraid that being near me will make them the state's next target. Against this backdrop, Mr. Speaker, following a summons issued to me by the DCEC on Thursday, 13th August 2026, to appear in court for corruption allegations, it is with a profound sense of duty and deep regret that I stand before you today to announce my immediate resignation from my position as a member of the cabinet. I want to be entirely clear at the onset, Mr. Speaker, that my resignation does not in any way constitute an admission of guilt or liability regarding the allegations currently under scrutiny. Rather, I have made a deliberate and conscious decision to step down to address a personal legal matter requiring my attendance in court on the 28th August 2026. My sole focus is to fully cooperate with and allow the legal process to run its course.
Meanwhile, opposition MPs have commended Noah Salakai's decision to resign from cabinet. Leader of opposition Tumilan Saleshando says Salakai did the right thing by stepping down. He, however, says Salakai's claims about the conduct of intelligence unit must not be taken lightly.
Nna ke dumela gore Tona Salakai o dirile sentle go ithola marapo. Parlamente ya Botswana ena le ditso tsa botona ba ne re ba lebisiwa melato. Bo ba sa tsetso ya go ithola marapo. Bo ba tswela ka botona jwa bone. Ke tsa gore ke thuto ya dirileng e tona. Ga se ba le bantsi ba kgonang go dira jalo. Gore ya no ke lebisitswe molato mme ke boele morago. Se se tshwenyang ke dikgang tse dingwe tsa di buileng tsa gore bontlha bongwe kana go na le bosupi jwa nang le bone jo bo supang gore ditatogatso tsa di lebisiwang ke maragana teng a UDC bogolo yang o buile jwa Office of the President bo dirisa DIS ya re itseng gore e na le ditso tsa go mounta a campaign for abuse. I mean, ra itse gore mo Botswana go kgona go nna le bo Museveni ba ile gore DIS na le tsompelo tsa gore e kgone go itse gore bolela gore Museveni ke maemo emisi me batho ba mohuta ba kgona go thorontsha ka dipuo ka tlase ga tshireletso ja ba bana le bokgoni le DIS ya gore ba go le motshego ba ka tshwara motho go a tshwenya go ra gore tota DIS ya nako tse di hitileng e neng e dirisa dithata tsa bone botlhaswa e ntse mo tsamaisong e mo tirisong go hetogile bogogi jwa sepolotiki jwa yone ya ka re itse gore gompieno ke borre mogwasa ko office of the president. I must say, office of the president includes Rendaba, it includes Reboko. Government wa ditshwanelo ke yo o tlhorontsha ba ga bone. But let's wait for the courts di makgotla tshekelo a lebegane le kgang ya teng ha ile re pheletso go ka itlela go itlhela le gore o na sena molato tata se se ra gore puso ya nong ke yone tshwanetse go ithola tiro ya ka rasala ka ithuse tiro mo tsatsing la gompieno.
In my view, o dirile mo go siameng le ene ja kana thalosa o dirile gore a ta ithatswe le nna sente a eme ha thoko a lebelle gore o thatswa leina la gagwe o lebagana le kganye a sa kopetswe ke maemo a le mo go one mme ga ra tshwanela gore re itumele go tswa ga gagwe hela tshwanetse re lebelle gore ja kana a bua mo statementeng sa gagwe it is a state sponsored investigation. It's a state sponsored investigation kind of a charge. You know, a system is corrupt. You cannot sacrifice one of them. As if they are sanitize corruption. But we should look beyond that. The individual today, I mean, is it a genuine charge? Is the only rot that we have in the system. We have to look beyond that. And the investigations, me dilotse di helela mo go ene kana go targetule ene gore go thatswe puso ka ene so ntse re di lebelele skara le bala gape gore kana re sa tswa go bona forensic audit yene e ntse madi a setšhaba mantshintse madi one re tshwantse re bone gore report e tshwere me batho bothe ba ba amega le bothe ba na le di implications. Are they being investigated? Are charges being raised against them? Ke tsone tshwantse re di lebelele of course I am happy gore he has stepped down as a man of principle. But we should go look beyond the resignation and the man charged. Maybe he's been sacrificed. Who knows?
Botswana is edging closer to a landmark electoral reform that could permanently end the requirement for citizens to re-register to vote every 5 years. In a rare show of political consensus, all parties represented at the recent all-party conference have endorsed the introduction of a once-off voter registration system. Under the proposed arrangement, citizens would register when they first become eligible to vote and remain on the national voters roll for life, subject to routine updates. The Minister for State President Moeti Mwasa announced the proposed reform, describing it as one of the key agreements reached during the conference. If adopted, the move would represent one of the most significant changes to Botswana's electoral framework in decades, eliminating the costly and recurring nationwide voter registration exercises traditionally conducted ahead of general elections.
More than 10 reforms were tabled for consideration at the conference. The parties agree that priority should be given to reforms that do not require constitutional amendment, thereby enabling their swifter implementation, while more far-reaching reforms continue to receive appropriate consideration. This included the following: that voters be permitted to register only once in their lifetime. Clearer statutory guidance. 2, clearer statutory guidance on the definition of principal residence for purposes of voter registration and voting in order to address the problem of voter trafficking. C, that Oman remains the principal form of identification for voting and registration, with a driver's license or passport used where the Oman is not available. D, that political parties be provided with access to the verified electronic voters' roll. E, that the same processes of observation and monitoring applied during elections be extended to the voter registration process, together with a code of conduct for polling and counting agents. This should include the number of agents permitted at polling stations. F, special voting arrangements for persons living with disabilities through a special vote during special vote day. G, the introduction of electronic voting and electronic counting of ballots. H, the counting of ballots at polling stations. I, the introduction of transparent ballot boxes. J, the legislation of exit polling. And K, the relaxation of the stringent requirements governing the amendment of electoral petitions.
Meanwhile, Minister Mohasa was pressed by leader of opposition Dumelan Saleshando on issues such as the electronic voting machines and the specially elected MPs and councillors dispensation, which the UDC rather was against before attaining state power.
Agalo dumalana ko all party conference ka tsele dumalaneng. A go ne ga nna le tumalano ya gore melao ka kanyetso e setseng e dirilwe e gazetilwe e boelo morago. A nngwe ya di-party ne a dumelana gore any gazetted amendments a di boelo morago. Ka gore wa itse gore gazette e sa le dule pele ga lo bitsa meeting a ne o dumelana le boelo morago ke a ntlha. Ya bobedi ka gore wa re lo santse lo tshegeditse le di dumela lo di soletsa pele ga ditlhopho. Ka gore UDC ne gana electronic voting machine ga e santse le mo positioning. A gora gore UDC e hetogetse EVM gore yanong e ne e gana e busa e se ge ne e gana e mo khaletsong mme yanong ya e dumela ga e busa. A gora gore lo hetogetse gone mo ile ya bobedi. Ya boraro ke gore mo maitlamong a UDC ne go kwadilwe gore specially elected councillors, nominated councillors, ba tla iriwa proportionate, ba tla tlhophiwa go lebilwe gore mme mo council engwe le ngwe batho ba tlhophile di-party di. Ga lo a diragatsa seo seo se ne le se kwalile mo manifesto ke eno sa se diragatsa ka gore ga gona sepe se se ne se lo kganela gore lo se diragatse. Ha e le gore lo pallwa ke go diragatsa diphetogo tse di sa tlhokeng go hetolwa molao gotlhelele di lo palela, re ka lo tshepa yang gore tse dingwe lo tla diragatsa tse di tlhoka go hetolwa molao. Ke a leboga.
Ta ke tse hela ya bohelo ya nna bua gore ya kemedi go council le gore go thophiwa re bua ka go baakanya molao, ga re bue ka tse di ko morago, re bua go baakanya tse leng gore tabo re di amogela re di dira mmogo re a ko pele. Ke tsa gore na heta ka yone le ene gongwe le ena ga ke bua yana wa lemoga gore o e lathileng ka ba sa bua yang.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Hang on, there's a point of order. Point of order, leader of opposition.
Mr. Speaker, ke go pato nang karabi. Ha ka re ke lemogile gore go ke sa e bua. Mo statementeng sa gagwe o rile UDC dio tsene di soletsa pele ga ditlhopho e santse le committed to tsone. O rilana ke a mo gakolla gore UDC e rile nominated councillors ba tla tlhophiwa go lebilo bokete jo gore go tlhophilwa mo councileng eo. Nna ka re ga la dira yalo ke gore go tlhalosa gore mathata a teng e ne e le go bolosa diragatsa tsholehetso ya lona tse o reng santse lo le mo go tsone le gore ha e le gore ga lo kgone go diragatsa tse di tshwana le e sa tlhokeng phetolo ya molao gore ka lo tshepa yang.
Honourable Minister.
Nyamuta o ta re tshepa gore hela santse ha o ngwa go na le go nna bodingalo nyala go tshepa mme le to re tshepa ka gore ha o ngwa le tshwantso le re tsepeleng ga na hela ka bomo. Santa ke tlhalose yana re Saleshando mototegi leader of the opposition ra re baakanya go ya ko pele ebile se nka se go bolela gape ke gore tse dingwe tse di mo ga se tse e leng gore dumalana le tsone rona tse di mo is the outcome ya dipuisanya tsa rona le ba kganetso. So re dile ra go di lebella rothe ka gore re le ga ra tshwana re kgopele ke yone santhanta se ne re sumela re le mago kwa khota a mante othe. So tse re ta go di lebella re le mmogo jaanong ke ne ke re ke hete ka yone ya gore ya go lebella gore tabo re tsa di specially elected re ka dua ke gore dirisa principle ya proportion ya batho philweng ga ya ka ya thagelela mora ba ne ba rumile ngo ba lebetse go etseng.
The Ministry of Labour and Home Affairs says it is concerned about the growing number of foreign nationals allegedly working in Botswana using fraudulent work permits. Briefing the media earlier today, Minister Pius Mokware said authorities recently arrested a man in Mkhoritani who is allegedly involved in the production and issuance of fake work permits. Mokware said the suspect, identified by the surname Darlington, was arraigned before court and subsequently released on bail.
Many are renterente ra hetal ra tsanala ko teng re totometa ra itela gore ra go tshwara monna mongwe ka ko Mogoditshane monna ona be ra go itela gore ona le difomo tso tlhaela tsa puso tsere nna tso kwana mo go ena ra itela ana le formo ya police go teng REV1 ina le ditempe tsa ko Aben police station ra kgona go mo tshwara yalo go na le di formo tsa labor le tsone ina le stempe sa labor ra mo tshwara yalo ana le di formo tsa di work permit forms tsone tseo tsa rona tseo ra mo tshwara yalo ana le di emergency work permits ra mo tshwara yalo ana le confirmation letters from the Ministry of Agriculture kere ka motho o confirma gore ke ba maru o na le farm o na le ya ra itiretsela yalo ana le fake land board certificates tornya ke ba maru se mamang hile tshimo kana hile setsa ko kae ana le some residence permit receipt ya go supa gore no resident permit tse di ka tswa di dira mme ile sene sa khamana hape ana le di marriage certificate.
Mokware further revealed that investigations have linked the suspect to the facilitation of other fraudulent documents. He said the suspect allegedly helped some individuals to obtain loans from micro-lenders using fake documentation.
Mono ra go ro khona go dira GPO, go khona go dira advice ha tekeng. Advice lead. Khona go dira ha sona ga go dira gore aba ba go dira la loma. Gore ha go diretso mang advice lipi hotel di me certificate o khona go tsa lo go ngolo go mo macrolanda rena tsana kwa ga lebella hela ranya the documents are there in order ke medical a puso ntsala na ba go nela lo o bo nyalla re tletse le gore a number of those people wa ba tsere madi go ntse go dira yalo ba ngwa go tsa le di furniture gona ka those fake documents tsoletseng bo ba tsara mo shopong ya furniture bo ba tsa furniture ga ba lebella ba re nya motho wa bereka yo re na le pay slip ya gagwe re na lo mang wa gagwe re na le marriage certificate ya gagwe ke ena if you sense the spouse has consented tota go ra documents tsa motho ona di siame so ya gore batho ba kgona go tsaya madi kana ba kgona go tsaya furniture.
It is still to come in this bulletin. Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema has been re-elected. Stay with us for more news.
Le moloi wa bosigo o batla gore a pase a bona le moloi tota a ire nga go kgopisitse gore o we ka koloi o kgaogane le mosadi wa gago o lwe le ausago le tlhoga le mo go wena go ra gore wa boka mo ke sefifi se se tona
bona le dikgantsi gantsi batho ba di botsang dikgantsa bo gore a mme boloi bo teng a mme boloi bo a tshela mme rona ga ra ema hela go ka dipotso re ile go batla dikarabo re karabo
ndate
ra go amogela
ke a leboga mongame.
Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Hot like a heater.
You're now rocking with my man DJ Lil Monka, official DJ for Double HP. What up, fam?
Yeah, man, I'm chilling like a villain. I'm up in here, hip hop Indaba. That's what it is, man. Support.
One of Botswana's probably greatest lyricists to ever come out of this country. We call him Drama Boy, because boy, that boy got lyrics that are dramatic.
Too many niggas for my tamo. I think about it, get bailed choco masamo. I think about it, get hasama timogamo. My heart beat like Mudumo Amodramo.
B-boy is the original dance for the hip-hop culture. B-boy can be traced as far back as this 1960s.
I've been down. See, that's the problem, you clowns. You look at me and think it's time for comedy rounds. Well, Link's cool, he can get you real out. But I don't see him holding hands in the mall with you now. I don't see him making plans, trying to settle like wow.
B-Dub, what it is, welcome to another action-packed show of The Foundation, classical flashbacks, right here on YTV.
Where is it? Wanda? Nessa? Hey! How's somebody just gonna come up in my house? What's wrong with people today? It's disgusting, despicable. You're supposed to rob somebody when they're not at home. I gave them all the signals I was here. Lights on, truck in the driveway. I'm talking to myself out loud. What more do I need to do? Did you see that? Almost clubbed around like a baby seal. What's wrong with me, America? I feel violated. I can't go on like this. I don't want you to see me like this. I got an image to maintain. Cut the camera off.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We now take a look at stories from around the world tonight. Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema has won re-election with around 64% of votes cast. The result was widely expected, with Hichilema facing a field of 13 challenges led by a former provincial minister, Brian Mundumbile, making his first bid for the presidency. International and domestic observer missions said at the weekend that the conditions had contributed to an uneven playing field.
Zambia's President Hakainde Hichilema has won re-election with around 60% of the votes according to the Electoral Commission. The results were widely expected, with Hichilema defeating 13 challengers after a campaign critics called tightly controlled.
I therefore declare Hichilema Hakainde S to be president-elect. Hello? Can I finish? To be president-elect of the Republic of Zambia this 18th day of August 2026.
Zambia's August 13th election was overshadowed by opposition claims of fraud and an unprecedented nationwide suspension of vote counting. The pause followed attacks on election staff and the theft of marked ballots, while critics warned of shrinking political space ahead of the vote.
In our business news, Sky Clouds Pty Ltd has secured a 12 million capital injection to kick off a landmark property financing development project focused on critical infrastructure for government entities and parastatals. Speaking at the launch, Sky Clouds Managing Director Bruce Nkakile say the funding is backed by lending local and international private banks.
Sky Clouds Properties was launching its big project of infrastructural development, where we are going to be doing project financing. This is basically to say we are going to be approaching government and parastatals for us to turn their land into houses, for us to get any abandoned projects and turn them into value, but most importantly use those particular projects to be able to recoup whatever investment we're going to be putting it. And we obviously have one of our reputable and trusted banking partners, who are Access Bank, who we've done a couple of projects with, and previously we've been able to at least get assistance of about 12 million pula as of today. But we are now looking into bigger projects where we're doing public housing, we're doing student accommodation, and any other critical infrastructure project that we may come across.
Now we take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have a closer look into the world of sports tonight.
Fridays at 7:30 p.m. Hot like a heater.
Welcome back to our 7 p.m. news, and now in our sports news tonight, Gaborone-based women's football side Mazoti FC over the weekend were champions of the DTCB Botswana Women's Football 2026, becoming the third side to lift the title after double action ladies and Gaborone United ladies. Mazoti defeated Muyabana side Dunamis and Daughters 7-0 in the final to clinch the title. And the individual accolades, Mazoti FC coach Eric Bolotsang was crowned coach of the tournament. Leumo Senuelo and Tsofatso Mosoto of Mazoti were joint top scorers with 5 goals each. Hudiramang Khonae of Mazoti was named player of the tournament, while Mazoti goalkeeper Waitsi Hokatwing scooped the Safe Hands Award. And still in sports, taking a look at the just ended 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations, Cameroon national women's football team on Sunday defeated the Buttons Malawi 3-0 in the final to be crowned Queens of Africa. Cameroon received a hero's welcome yesterday at Yaoundé International Airport to celebrate their first WAFCON title after falling short at the finals 3 times.
The indomitable Lionesses are home and Yaoundé is celebrating. A day after making history with a 3-0 victory over Malawi to win Cameroon's first women's AFCON title, the champions received a hero's welcome. As the team landed at Yaoundé's International Airport on Monday afternoon, thousands of fans gathered, cheering and celebrating their new African champions. It's a joy beyond words. We have seen these girls as they grew up all the way to what they have become today. We are so happy. We've been watching the games since the first game. We have seen them transform into butterflies. We are so happy, really. Long live the Lionesses. Marie Nanga Manga struck twice on Sunday. Naomi Eto'o added another, and Cameroon finally broke its curse after 3 defeats to Nigeria. This is unprecedented for the girls. It's a first victory. We've never seen this in Cameroon before. We're happy to welcome our Lionesses, our valiant Lionesses, under the leadership of the great president, Samuel Eto'o. We're thrilled by all of this. We're thrilled. We're very happy. FIFA's embattled President Gianni Infantino and CAF chief Patrice Motsepe watched the final before helping present the medals. Algeria had earlier beaten Morocco to claim 3rd place.
And that was all the sports update for tonight. Let's now recap the headlines. Now, Salakai has resigned from cabinet and confirms that he's facing corruption charges. Government launches a crackdown on illegal immigrants, and Hakainde Hichilema is re-elected as Zambia's president. That is all the news we had for you tonight. Thank you once again for watching YTV. You can follow us on our Facebook page or get in touch with us on our WhatsApp line in 74119 And for myself, the key and author of announcement, and the rest of the YTV news team, have a blessed night.